Hey everybody, here we are over here in Tracy, California at Heinz. I think it's the Heinz Distribution Center. I don't think they package ketchup here, but ketchup, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, the way it goes down here is you pull up to the security lady. She's a really nice old lady. I'm usually really nice with her. I flirt with her, and she lets me in early. So I've been in here since about 1:05. But of course, she makes it clear that you don't go to the checkout window until 1:15, which I didn't. I waited until about 1:20 to go in. But the way it works here is the security lady assigns you a dock. You take your trailer to the dock, like all these trailers over here, and you actually disconnect your tractor from the trailer. This is a really old warehouse. They don't have dock locks here. For you guys that don't know what a dock lock is, I'll show you that later on when we go to a more modern warehouse. So just for safety purposes, they have you drop your trailer and pull up to the fence, which is right here, like the rest of these trucks and these guys waiting around for their trailers to be loaded. But it usually takes about an hour and sometimes two, and I've even been here for 3 for them to load the truck. But these people are really nice and cool, and they treat the drivers here with a lot of respect, and so, you know, it makes it a lot easier to sit around for 2 or 3 hours. But anyway, I thought, while we were sitting here, you know, I don't just want to bitch at the camera all the time about the problems of the trucking industry and all this crap. You know, someday I'm going to be dead and gone, and, you know, I want to teach people some of the stuff I know, and especially the new guys that are coming out of truck driving school. You know, this is really for you guys, man. There's nothing wrong with going to truck driving school to learn how to drive a truck. I was lucky enough to be around trucks all my life and around heavy equipment and boats and you know, charter boats and commercial fishing boats, and so I learned a lot about diesel engines and trucks and heavy equipment when I was a young kid. And you know, I had a job in a warehouse when I was 17, so I had access to the local trucks and tractors out front. You know, when the drivers came in, they'd leave their trucks parked out front so that the docks would be clear. And then at the end of the day, I would go out and back all the trucks in the dock, and that's how I learned. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with going to truck driving school. There's just a lot of shit they don't teach you guys in truck driving school that I'm going to try to, you know, show you guys on my videos. But, you know, I don't know it all, you know, but I'll share with you guys what I do know and what I do know how to do and what I've done, okay? But I thought we'd spend the next 5 minutes kind of going over, you know, some of the things that you have to have with you in the truck and some of the things that I keep with me just in case, okay? You guys already know that some of the things you have to have, like a fire extinguisher and your safety triangles, your orange plastic piece of shit triangles that will probably fall apart before you get them out of the fucking box, okay? And if they don't fall apart then, I guarantee they will come apart when you put them out on the road. Either somebody will run the motherfuckers over or the wind will blow them apart because they suck, okay? So, you know, either 3 orange cones or 3 orange triangles, or I think flares count too. I don't keep flares in the truck because I go to a lot of bases and military depots, and they have canine dogs that do inspect your truck before entry, and they will pick up on the flares, okay? So if you feel like emptying out your complete fucking doghouse or wherever you keep all your shit just to show them the flares, feel free to carry flares. But anyway, let's move on to some more of the personal items that you always want to keep with you in the truck, especially if you're an over-the-road driver. You know, let's start with tools, okay? I have a toolbox that I keep in my doghouse that probably weighs 100 pounds. I got enough shit in there that I've really never had a problem without a tool. I do most of my maintenance on my own. Like I said, I'm an owner-operator, So, you know, I can't afford to hire mechanics or take my truck into the shop unless it's something that absolutely takes a shop to do, okay? Like brake liners or, you know, tires or anything like that, I take it to the shop. But, you know, things like alternators, belts, hoses, airlines, lights, you know, all that crap, you know, I do myself to save money and time. But some of the shit I keep in the truck with me besides tools is, you know, I keep a insulated pair of coveralls with me just in case I do have to get out and work on the truck on the side of the road in the middle of the night. I keep snow boots and rain gear in my truck so that if I do go to Reno or somewhere where there's a pass and snow, you don't want to get out of your truck and chain up with blue jeans and a t-shirt on, for instance, because you will get back in the truck freezing your ass off, soaking fucking wet, okay? So, other things that I keep in the truck is a little bit of spare food. I have a couple things, a cup of noodles in here. I have spare water. I think I have a couple boxes of crackers or some shit back here somewhere, but I got a microwave right there. And, you know, you always want to keep a little spare food because you never know when you're going to be sitting in a backup, you know, out in the middle of Wyoming in the fucking snow somewhere for 10 or 12 or 24 hours. I keep an airline that they sell at the truck stops. It's got a glad hand on one end and you know, the fucking tire pressure, or the tire, what do you call it, a fucking, fuck, man, I just had a brain fart. But anyway, yeah, you can use it to hook up to your, you know, your glad hand, your service line, and then just push the valve in, you know, your service valve, and you can air up a low tire. It might help you limp into a truck stop someday if you got a low tire. Or even a really, you know, a flat tire, as long as the bead's still connected on there and there's not a great big fucking hole in it, you can limp yourself to the truck stop. Or if you find a low tire in the morning or at night after you do your pre-trip or post-trip inspections, you can always pull your air hose out and air the tire up. That way, when you check it the next morning, if it's low again, then you know you got a hole in it. Otherwise, then it's just at the proper pressure. But, you know, I keep a lot of stuff in here. I keep bungee cords. I keep extra load securement devices, like these straps down here under my seat. I keep extra grommets for my glad hands. I keep, you know, let's say I replace let's say that one of the airlines is leaking. You know, when I go in, I'll buy a blue one and a red one, bud. You know why? Because when you take those two old ones off, if one of them's still good, you throw it in your doghouse, and then someday if you break an airline, you got a spare. So I always keep spare parts that I replace, especially if they're reusable. Little ferrules that go inside of smaller airlines, like the airline that's under my seat, the airline that slides the fifth wheel, that actuates the actuator for the fifth wheel. Those all take little gold grommets, and I keep those. You know, zip ties, electrical tape, electrical wire. I always keep this stuff with me because you never know when you'll need it. I keep jumper cables in the truck. I guess I'd have to pretty much open up my bed back here and access the storage compartment to really go through it and show you guys all the stuff I keep with me. But those are just some things that you want to take with you on the road. If you're an over-the-road driver, you want to have your tire chains with you at all times. When you go into certain states, they will check to see if you have chains. Okay. There's a lot of little tricks that, you know, for instance, when you're chaining up a truck, I keep a couple of wood blocks with me. They're about a foot long, 4x4s. You know, you can even make them a couple feet long if you got somewhere to keep them. But, you know, I use those, I place those on the ground in front of the dualies on the inside duals, and then you just drive your truck up on top of those blocks, and then the outside duals are up in the air, and it makes it a lot easier to throw the chains on. That's just for single chains. You know, if you got to throw the doubles on, then, you know, you got to do that the old-fashioned way. But another trick with chains is, you know, if you're fighting a chain and it's just a couple inches short or even 4 or 5 inches short of making your connection, you can take a hammer and tap all the links around the outside of the tire or the chain there. Just tap the links, you know, and that'll pull it just enough so you can connect it. But that's another trick. But yeah, we don't want to get stuck too much on the details of this shit. You guys will figure that out on your own when you get out on the road and do it for yourself. But that's a really good trick. If you have a chain that's really tight and it doesn't want to go on, you can just tap the chain links around the edge of the tire all the way towards where you're trying to hook it up, and it'll usually work. You know, I keep spare bulbs, you know, fuses, you know, spare logbooks. You know, you keep an extra set of clothes in your truck all the time. You know, if you're an over-the-road driver, you're going to have a bag packed, of course. But, you know, I mean, I got all kinds of shit in here, man. I got, you know, a stapler to use for my paperwork. I have whiteout, which is really good to have, you know, for your logbook, too. And it's real cheap to buy at the truck stop. I always keep a book of checks with me, whether it's com checks, TCH, or T-check book. You always want one of these with you because you never know when you're going to need to pay a lumper. A lot of these places require lumper service. You guys will figure out what that is later on. It's always good to have a CB radio, even if it is a little piece of shit, you know, $30 one. It's better than nothing. And there's a lot of good information drivers will give you when you're out there, like weather information, traffic information, you know, accidents, cops, whatever. You know, pillows, blankets are always in the truck. You know, I keep water in the truck to drink and also other water for the truck. I always keep extra oil in the truck. I've got WD-40. I keep Lucas hub oil in here at all times for the front steer axle or any other hub that has a plastic cover on the outside of it. There's usually 2 lines on the bottom that are your low line and your full line. You want to try to keep it right between there. I'll show you guys more about that later and get some video of it. But, and what else can I think of? Did I say jumper cables? Yeah, I think I did. But yeah, you know, you want to keep all this stuff with you, man, because when you're out on the road, you know, you're alone. You want to be prepared at all times for any situation that might arise out on the highway. So that's what I do to keep up on this shit. But anyway, let me see, we're at about 1340 here. I don't want to go into this too far. I was going to get out of the truck since I'm disconnected from my trailer. It's a perfect opportunity to get a better visual inspection on my truck, my tractor, without the trailer covering up the frame and the fifth wheel and the drive tires. So usually is what I do with this time is I spend it going over my tractor to make sure everything's good. If I do see a problem, if possible, I'll pull out a wrench or a screwdriver and try to get it straightened out before I get going again. But, all right, man, I'll get back with you guys soon, and comment on my videos if you can. My channel is under Truckers and Movers, so get on there and check it out and check out my other videos. I'm going to start throwing these on every day. I'll try to teach you guys something new every day. And that's it, man. You guys take it easy. Keep them rolling.